based or inspired by Clapton. Clapton did a lot of things that some other legends did, Robert Johnson, all the way up. But this one for me is inspired by Clapton, and it's using a couple of little sour bends in your basic pentatonic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the A minor pentatonic scale, but in its extension. So it'd be 3-5 on the E, 3-5 on the A, slide up to the 7, then 5-7, 5-7, then slide up with the ring finger. But then we're going to do a little finger transition to our index on the 8th fret of the B to ring finger on the 10, and then 8-10. And then we do it backwards. Ring finger. That's the root. Gone over this a lot, but the concept is we're just gonna add these little almost out of tune sounding notes, which are great for the blues, plus just great because we can do it on guitar. You can't do these notes on like a piano or a lot of other instruments. So anyway, when we do that extension on the E string, we're going to bend this 3rd fret just to the point right before it sounds really out of tune. And then we're going to play this root note. So you're not going to hear it bend back down. You're only going to hear it go up and then boom to the root note. Very subtle. It's actually harder than it seems because everyone wants to overbend that. But it's more of just very subtle. Then we do the same thing on the A string. Now on the 5th fret of the A string, we don't do it for that note. We keep it natural. And then we use that transition up to the 7th fret of the A, and we don't do that bend there. We only do it right here on the D string again on the 5th, and the G string on the 5th. More subtle the better. That's going to be the tricky part, is learning how much to bend that note. It's very subtle. Now you're going to follow that through with the 8th on the B with that little bend, to 10, no bend, and then the same thing on the high E. And something that I'm pointing out right now is that it doesn't have to immediately go. That subtle bend can be really slow. It almost has like a little drunk sound to it, because it's like, you're toying with the tonality of almost sounding out of tune. But you don't have to just do it in that extended run. No, I just use that as an example, kind of a jumping off point where you can see it in those different positions. But anytime you're in any of those three areas, just keep that in mind. And then on the way down, the descending part of that, you can still do it. So keep that in mind, those sour bends. I have talked about them in some other series, but that is always a really cool thing to remember because it adds a lot of character without learning a new scale or anything like that. So stay tuned. I've got more bonus tips coming your way.